Hi, I'm Nadia Nazir for TV Sarawak, and this is the news. ETOF asked to push for ecotourism. Minister of Tourism Dato' Amar Abang Johari Tun Abang Openg has asked East Asia Interregional Tourism Forum ETOF member countries to explore ecotourism in order to attract more tourists. Speaking at the ETOF welcoming dinner, Dato' Amar Abang Johari urged East Asian nations to tap the resources and assets prevalent in their country to enhance ecotourism, as ecotourism is gaining popularity fast. He also expressed his hope that, like Sarawak's 27 ethnic groups living harmoniously like a family under one roof, perhaps ETOF can also live as one family, as all the member countries have one common objective to promote tourism. The delegates are from the Philippines, Korea, China, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Japan, Mongolia, Indonesia and Malaysia. Institute Pendidikan Guru IPG Rajan Campus is the first teachers training institute to offer a degree course in Iban language. The purpose of the degree program for Iban language is to further develop the language at tertiary level. Deputy Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Alfred Jabu said it was a historic moment to be able to produce the first batch of teacher trainees in Iban language. Speaking at the official opening of the Iban language degree course and Iban language and Iban literature symposium in RH Hotel, he said that Iban language has developed to be at par with Chinese and Tamil languages, albeit long struggle. The first intake will be in January 2015 with 24 students who are expected to graduate in 2016. State Health Director Dr. Zulkifli Jantan has warned the employees against using social media such as WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook to disclose confidential information about the department or its patients. He added that such irresponsible acts could create public panic if the information should fall into wrong hands. Dr. Zulkifli also reminded the department staff to abstain from surfing social networks during working hours, as it might affect the standard of patient care. They should instead use information telecommunication technology (ICT) to improve their knowledge on diseases and treatments. 17 events took place on the second day of the Sarawak Regatta at the Sarawak River. The final round of the Men 20 Paddler Bidar race among government agencies and corporations ended with Yayasan Sarawak Group in first place, as well as the Nippon Oil Challenge Trophy. Sarawak Museum came in second, while Enras Cahaya Zen was third. The final of the Women 10 Paddler Bidar race was also won by Yayasan Sarawak Group. Second and third placings went to Armada Pemuda and Sri Muara Tuang respectively. Hazalina Wati Osman won the Women Kayak individual event. In the Men Kayak team final, Richie Muktelus and Anthony Anyi won the first place. Other events held were Men 7 Paddler Balok Round D, Men 15 Paddler Bidar Round D, Men 20 Paddler Kenyalang Antarabangsa Round B, Men 30 Paddler Bidar Round C, Men 20 Paddler Bidar Round D, Petra Local Men 30 Paddler Bidar Round A, Petra Local Men 30 Paddler Bidar Round B, Men 10 Paddler Bidar Round D, Kenyalang Campuran Round B, Mixed 15 Paddler Bidar Final, 1 kilometer Men 30 Paddler Bidar Round B, Men 20 Paddler Kenyalang Final and Men 30 Paddler Bidar Round D. In his speech when opening the Jerlun UMNO Divisional Delegates Meeting at the Sekolah Menengah Sains Kubang Pasu, Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak said that the government will allow freedom of speech in social media as long as it is exercised with accountability. He also mentioned that the Sedition Act would be abolished and replaced by National Harmony Act. He advised that there has to be maturity in thinking to avoid problems despite the practice of freedom and openness. He welcomed ideas and opinions and voiced that no human or leader is not infallible. Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott arrived on Saturday for a one-day official visit to Malaysia to discuss bilateral cooperation in relation to the two recent Malaysia Airlines flight tragedies, seeking to strengthen the cordial ties between Australia and Malaysia. Abbott is scheduled to have a restricted meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak, which will be followed by a delegation meeting that will cover bilateral relations and regional and international issues of mutual interest. Later, he is expected to attend dinner at the Prime Minister's in Sri Perdana. US President Barack Obama hailed the formation of a core coalition of 10 countries led by the United States and including the UK, France, and Australia, who were aiming to destroy what he described as the savage and nihilistic Islamic State ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Speaking at the closing of the NATO summit in Wales, the US president said the grouping, which also included Germany and Canada, stood ready to confront this terrorist threat with military, intelligence, law enforcement, as well as diplomatic efforts. But the core coalition only included one Muslim nation, Turkey. The US Secretary of State John Kerry will now travel to the Middle East to build support for a military confrontation with ISIS, an organization that Obama said, quote, killed innocents and enslaved women, unquote. Intent on learning the lessons of the 2003 Iraq invasion led by George W. Bush in conjunction with Tony Blair, Obama added that it was absolutely critical to have Arab states and specifically Sunni majority states prepared to join the fight. Representatives of Ukraine's government and insurgent leadership signed a ceasefire agreement slated to take effect later in the day, Interfax news agency reported. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, also a party in the Minsk talks, along with Russia, has confirmed the development, saying that the truce deal will go into force on 1500 GMT Friday. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko and the independence-seeking insurgents have also confirmed that a ceasefire agreement for Ukraine's war-torn east has been reached. Poroshenko said Thursday that a ceasefire with the insurgents will be ordered if an agreement on a peace plan to end the war in eastern Ukraine is signed at the Minsk talks. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said that the World Organization is going to establish an Ebola crisis center to stop the spread of the virus in 6 to 9 months. Ban made the announcement after a meeting on the Ebola epidemic with senior leaders and experts from across the United Nations system, including Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO, Dr. Margaret Chan, and Senior UN System Coordinator for Ebola, Dr. David Nabarro. He said that the goal is to stop Ebola transmission in affected countries within 6 to 9 months and to prevent the international spread of the virus. The UN chief also noted that the goal to stop Ebola transmission within 6 to 9 months can be achieved only if the urgent and necessary mobilization is done both in the affected countries and by the international community. Malaysia's cycling champ Rizal Tissin has withdrawn from Asian Games as he feels he is not fit. He also indicated that he might not participate in the World Cup and might even retire next year. Serena Williams used her blazing power in a semi-finals win, while Caroline Wozniacki advanced when her opponent was felled by heat illness on Friday to set up an intriguing women's final at the US Open. China's Peng Shuai was forced to retire with Wozniacki leading 7-6, 4-3 on a steamy day on Arthur Ashe Stadium court, while Serena succeeded by trouncing Russian Ekaterina Makarova 6-1, 6-3 in 60 minutes. In the mixed doubles final, Sania Mirza of India and Brazilian Bruno Soares won the US Open title 6-1, 2-6, 11-9, sealing the match tiebreak on their sixth championship point against American Abigail Spears and Santiago Gonzalez of Mexico. Despite being one of the poorest nations in the world, Afghanistan may be sitting on one of the richest troves of minerals in the world, valued at nearly $1 trillion according to US scientists. Afghanistan, a country nearly the size of Texas, is loaded with minerals deposited by the violent collision of the Indian subcontinent with Asia. The US Geological Survey (USGS) began inspecting what mineral resources Afghanistan had after US-led forces drove the Taliban from power in the country in 2004. As it turns out, the Afghanistan Geological Survey staff had kept Soviet geological maps and reports up to 50 years old or more that hinted at a geological gold mine. According to Jack Medlin, a geologist and program manager of the US Geological Survey's Afghanistan project, Afghanistan is a country that is very, very rich in mineral resources. The mineral riches could lift Afghanistan out of poverty and fight crime and terrorism, said Said Mirzad, co-coordinator of the US Geological Survey's Afghanistan program. Wouldn't it be great if everything you needed to look good and feel great were at your fingertips? That's what you will get with a quick and free download of Samsung Galaxy Life, an app that keeps you connected to exclusive deals and privileges to fit your lifestyle. Need a little style boost? Stay in trend with fashion and beauty deals, or get yourself in shape with health-minded privileges. From fashion, health, and food to music, tech gadgets, and travel deals, there's always something fun to experience. All these and more through one app, Samsung Galaxy Life.
I would prefer a lot more beauty apps, facial, stuff like that. That'd be really good.
Outdoor games or more discount or cash voucher.
Deals like that is what makes Samsung's app different from other.
I love Galaxy Life.
Your passport to a good life.
And that was the news. I'm Nadia Nazir for TV Sarawak. Have a great day ahead.